All right. Sorry for the slight delay. Had a few hiccups getting everything restarted. But anyway, welcome back to today's second and final live stream of today, Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're in the Stearman 75. Make sure I have everything set on that. And we will get going. Yes. All right. So there we are. There is Laguna Seca, and then we're going to head out, kind of like what I said. But anyway, let's get in here and get going so we can get up in the air and be on our way. So
Salinas Tower, Old Crow 237 at runway 26 ready for departure west departure. Old Crow 237 altimeter 30.02 wind calm departure to the west approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 26. Cleared for takeoff runway 26 Old Crow 237.
Turn off the weather. And let's go ahead and get... that'll work. Make sure our co-pilot is talking. Yep, perfect. So there we are. There's our beautiful little plane there. All right, let's do this. Oh, see, there's that. There's that lovely sort of torque in some of these engines that it makes it a lot harder to take off. Like it was certainly going right towards, hello again, Mick. It makes it a lot harder to take off straight, you know, like it'll just kind of go and do its own thing.
Continue for west departure. Salinas Tower, Old Crow 237, continue for west departure.
Go ahead and stay right in line there. Climb out, and then we'll... Alright, so there's our marker for Laguna Seca. We'll head over that way here in just a moment. Get out here to our first marker, and then we'll turn in. Been through Salinas numerous times when I used to go to Laguna Seca. There's two ways to get there, and this is one of them. And you go, you follow this road here. It goes up into the hills there, and that's one of the ways to get there. All right, let's go ahead and turn in towards. I don't know how it's quieter out here than it is in the back in here. It doesn't make any sense. That's all good though. Yeah, we'll have a nice relaxing flight here. I didn't mean to cut Pithers off there at the end of our trip there on San Patch Grade. I know he said he'd just reinstalled the Ransom Rule 2, so... That's the road right there. You go up there, and you go up through the hills, and then you will find there's like 2 entrances into Laguna Seca from this road of pretty much.
All Crow 237 leaving my airspace, frequency change approved. Salinas Tower, Old Crow 237, frequency change. Normal approach, Old Crow 237.
Hello again, Amilla. How are you?
Miles west of Salinas, 2,000 feet. Request flight following.
All Crow 237 NorCal approach. Squawk 1654.
Squawk 1654, Old Crow 237.
All Crow 237 radar contact 5 miles southeast of Kilo, Oscar Alpha Romeo 2,100 feet. Altimeter 29
Spot code.
Roger, Old Crow 237.
That is correct. Now for flyovers at the races,
Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
All Crow 237 NorCal approach. Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
it would either be, I think for a while they would do some kind of a classic warbird or something, but then eventually it just became like the Coast Guard would fly their Dolphin helicopter over or something like that for the conclusion of the national anthem. And I think somewhat similar when I used to go to Sonoma or Infineon Raceway, as I always remember it being. Now, Raceway is built on a dry lake bed. Here it comes here, you can see it. We'll swing back around and get a better look at it. It was on the back part of Old Fort Ord, actually. And the track looks way different than it was when it was first built. And you can kind of see... Alright, so up there is the... should be the corkscrew. I'm looking at the... try to get my bearings here, so to speak. Okay, so yeah. So right up the right wing tip that's the main straight. And then you have parking all over here. This is part of the campgrounds through here. But there is... right off the right wing tip. Right there. There is the famous corkscrew turn. You come down and then you zip onto the main straight there. Now it used to be, if you look where that hairpin right there off the right wing tip is called Andretti hairpin. But it used to be that the track would come straight and there wasn't any infield. It just went... you hung a left and went right up, straight up the hill there. And that's how it was back in the days when the Can-Am ran there, Trans Am, like, you know, and then they made a bid to host Formula One, so they put it in the infield and everything, and then Formula One said no, we're not going to race there. So still used, not as many races as there was there in the past. Back in the Champ Car days, Champ Car would run there. You have the Rolex Sports Car Series, when it was separate from the American Le Mans Series, would run there. You have the Monterey Historics would run there. And then MotoGP ran there for quite some time, and the World Superbike Series. I'm doing good, Amela. I just happened to glance over and see that you had asked how I was doing. I'm still doing good. Just had a quick turnaround. I'm looking at the time and I'm like, man, I got to get this done. Lots of golf courses through here. Lots of homes. So there's one of the entrances right there. That's the one you go up and you end up right over there. And then the other one, you go, this is like the long entrance right there, kind of right in front of parallel to the front of the plane there, the wings. So I used to always try to come in through here, this entrance, or thereabouts, because it was just easier, because that's where a lot of the campers go through there, I think, is that entrance. So I think you can camp almost year-round there at Laguna Seca. But I think it depends on availability as well. But generally free parking, I think it was. And then you just, if you were parked way out, then they had like a little shuttle bus that would take you to the main bridge area there that goes over the front straight there. And I think we'll see it as we cross over. But there's the pit facilities right there, although it doesn't have everything. There's more buildings there than what it's showing. And then you also have right there off to the right wing tip, those two little buildings, that is the Raceway souvenir store. And then you also have a lot of little food places there in the infield. Yeah, really cool track. I miss going there, quite honestly. So yeah, there's the bridge that you cross over the track to get to the infield, to the paddock area. And there would be, like, you know, burgers and stuff like that, hot dogs, all that kind of stuff. But yep, there it is. And there is the world famous corkscrew. Ta-da. So there we are. Oh. I'm trying to, like, look at stuff to talk about, and then I'm looking over and I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm ignoring the chat, so I apologize if that's the case. So, and then from here, of course, we've landed here at Monterey Regional before, and we've taken off from there. So let's head out over the bay here. So kind of make our way out over the bay. So the bad part was, generally, when there was a race weekend, the hotel costs would go through the roof. The first time I went to the historic race, somebody said the only hotel they could find was in downtown Monterey at the Marriott. $500 a night, 4-night minimum. And that was their only option. So either you had to book early, and I would stay sometimes up in Marina, which is just close. It's not a very far drive to Laguna Seca. I think maybe once I stayed in Salinas, but generally I try to stay here in Monterey, or the nearby area. But it, as time went on, it would get very expensive. So if you didn't book early, you were going to pay a pretty heavy fee for a room. So, and that was certainly before the days of Expedia. And, you know, people had phones, but you didn't. Not everybody. There was no smartphones back then, so you had to go on the website if you knew what you were doing. So, but yeah, there's old Fort Ord, or Fort Ord is out. Was just north of here, kind of. Part of the old post is actually still standing somewhere in this area here, but it may be gone by now. They may have demolished it, but those were the old World War II barracks were still standing, but they were certainly in kind of ugly looking, and just, you know, I think they had to tear them down because they were seaside is where I'd say, not marina, but seaside. So, but which is fine because there was plenty of stuff there for food and whatnot. You didn't always have to go into downtown Monterey to eat. So, oh, that is wow with that wind. I have to turn my volume down. So Monterey Bay, very nice area. If you are a scuba diver or anything, a lot of people would come here to dive. I think they would do like the windsurfing with the kite and all that kind of stuff. A lot of sports stuff here. A lot of golf courses. Fairly well-off area. It probably still is today, but only just. But you have also, there is still a military presence here in Monterey, despite the fact that Fort Ord closed down. You have the Naval Postgraduate School is still here, which I've not been there as a student, but I've been there, you know, like I would stop. I think one time I actually stayed there on post for a race weekend. I was able to call and get a room, luckily enough for me. The Defense Language Institute, or as we used to call it, the Defense Love Institute, because it's a very long course. You go there to learn a foreign language, and you're there for quite some time, and so a lot of people develop relationships, get married, and then it never really works out because they did it because they thought it was the right thing to do, and they were just miserable, and Anyway, so yeah, we nicknamed it the Defense Love Institute. So, which I've been there numerous times. They still have a post exchange and stuff like that, back when I was still living in California. But yeah, really, really nice area, really beautiful, pretty much. You know, there's plenty of places if you want to go walking along the beach. There's ways to get out there and walk along and hang out, and so yeah, really nice area. But it can be a bit tricky to drive around at first, for sure. But yeah, a lot of diving, a lot of marine biology stuff here. We'll go over the Monterey Bay Aquarium. That is a very cool place to visit if you're interested in marine biology or just, you know, marine life in general. It's certainly one of those places that you should visit if you ever get out here. It's the weather thing still open. I thought I closed it. Yeah, I think we'll just fly it up this way because it's a little bit quieter and you can probably hear me a little bit better out here. So yeah, they opened, I don't remember when they opened it, but it was a very big deal, and it's certainly one of the tourist attractions of the area if you're not into golfing or anything like that. The big destination, of course, is the Monterey Bay Aquarium. Really cool place. I didn't know this, I just found it the other day, but they do have a YouTube channel you can watch. They have live streaming from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific time. So wherever you are in the world, you just kind of have to know how far apart that is in time or whatever. But they have, you know, they have multiple cameras. You can watch the sharks, you can watch the sea otters, all kinds of stuff. So do check that out. If you can't make it there for whatever reasons, that's the way you can kind of see what they're up to. You know, they love having kids there, certainly because it's you know, they can get the kids interested in marine science and, you know, stuff like that. So I think I'm trying to see where. So the Naval Postgraduate School, I think, is right. I'm trying to remember where things are. It's kind of a weird way to get in there. I'm trying to remember from the air, because I did find it, but I don't remember where exactly. But there's a sign for it. It's a really nice area there, and then the Defense Love Institute is up in the hills. I don't ever call it any other name than that. It's always going to be the Defense Love Institute. So we used to always warn kids, don't go down there, don't go there and get hooked up with anybody. Just go there, do your school, and get out of there. Don't get mixed up in nothing crazy. So, Cannery Row, that's another big area. A lot of the stuff from, what's his name? John Steinbeck. A lot of the famous California writers spent a lot of time here in Monterey. So, yeah. So this should be it. So, yeah. You go down here and then you... there's lots of restaurants down in this area here. Matter of fact, I've been to... There's a restaurant, I think, right there off the left wing tip. I think that's a restaurant. Been there. Really nice. A lot of seafood, of course. It's a big thing here. That should be the Naval Postgraduate School right there. I remember. That should be it. I don't think that's DLI. No, DLI is up a little... Maybe that is DLI. I can't remember. I know that's a military complex, so that's either Naval Postgraduate or that is DLI. And right here, that right off the left wing tip, that is the Monterey Bay Aquarium. But that's Cannery Row down along there. A lot of souvenir shops, a lot of little restaurants and whatnot. A lot of candy. Hello, Axel. You know, like they have those, you can buy the candy, you know, in bulk and, you know, get the kids all jacked up on sugar and then you can't control them for the rest of the day, you know. But yeah, that's where the aquarium is. And then this goes, we'll circle back around. We're just going to do this lazy kind of right turn there. And come back around again. That might be DLI right there. I thought DLI was up higher in the... That could be DLI, and then Naval Postgraduate, I think, is along there somewhere. So that's the only two military complexes, or, well, military bases here. There is the Presidio Monterey, I think, still. That is still kind of open, I think. But there was way more military bases here many years ago. But then Fort Ord closed. They've been trying to close DLI for quite some time without any success. Like, you know, where would they put it? You know, it's established. They just might as well keep it there. You know, trying to find a new home for it would be a bit difficult, I think. But, yeah. Those are the only two major military bases still left here in the area after Fort Ord closed. Lots of shopping, you know, like I said, souvenirs, just all kinds of stuff. But food is certainly the main attraction, especially if you like seafood. This is a place to go, aside from San Francisco. So yeah, it's Very nice area. Usually in the morning it might be a little bit foggy, but generally it's not too bad. Once the fog clears, it's a really nice. But early in the morning, like about this time in the morning, it would be, which is about 6, it would still be a bit foggy, and then it would clear up for a while, and then it would go, and then it would roll back in late afternoon, early evening, and so yeah, really cool place, really cool area, I think. Yeah, if you ever get a chance to go, don't say no if you can. It's a fun place to visit. Alright, so you head down here, you come along, basically go along the road here until you get to the coast. Pacific Grove Acres, that area. There's like a lot of little like places to stop along the way to take pictures of the Pacific Ocean from Monterey Bay, or from Monterey itself, or the peninsula here and all that, or, the outlying areas. You can just find all kinds of places. It's kind of romantic if you're into that sort of thing. Yeah, really cool. Always something to see here, I think. It's never boring in this part of California. There's always something scenic. You get the nice sunrises, the sunsets. More of the golf courses. Those seem to be a big attraction here. There's lots of golf courses. Of course, the famous one is Pebble Beach, but there are a bunch of other courses in the area, but Pebble Beach is the one that seems to be the one that most people want to come and play, or even just visit to say that they've been there. I think it's right there, maybe. But yeah, Pebble Beach, that's the other area. Amelia Island's one of them. Pebble Beach Concourse is the other big car show in the United States. Those are the two big sort of well-known car shows for concourses. So if you ever get a chance for that, I think you can even find, they may have a YouTube page that when they have it, you can watch the live stream from Pebble Beach of whoever's been awarded. They pull up the car and give them the award for their best in class or whatever, and then they finally go through best in show. Very scenic. If you look online, you can see plenty of pictures from the Pebble Beach Concourse de Elegance. The cars are parked on the fairways of the golf course, and then they have the nice view of the ocean behind and everything. It's very, very upscale. The tickets are not cheap. That is for sure. They don't want just anybody getting in there causing a ruckus. But there are plenty of other car shows besides Pebble Beach on that same weekend that they have the concourse. So if you can't make it to Pebble Beach, there's certainly something for everybody. Yeah, the Pebble Beach one is very high class. Yeah, they don't just want anybody in there, I don't think. So then you follow this along, and then you come down to you basically come back inland kind of, and you run into the town of Carmel. Now, for those of you who do not know, and many people don't, but the actor Clint Eastwood was the mayor of Carmel for quite some time, and he's still kind of involved in the area, maybe not as much as he used to be when he was younger. or many years ago, but he is still kind of a fixture in the Carmel area. He ran, I think, one of the things that he was a bit peeved about, and what I think drove him to become mayor, was the mayor at the time, whose name I do not recall, instituted a town law that said you could not walk down the street. Now check this out, right? It was against the law to walk down the street and eat ice cream in Carmel. And I think that's when Clint Eastwood was like, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And when he became mayor of Carmel, his first order of business was to throw that law right out the window. So, yeah. Lots of shops and stuff here in Carmel. Lots of food. A little bit more art-related, artsy sort of area compared to Monterey, although there is some artsy sort of stuff in Monterey, but Carmel has or had, I don't know if it's still the case now with COVID, but there was a lot of small galleries, people selling their paintings and little scenery paintings, like landscape stuff from the seaside here, and trying to capture some of the beautiful area. So if you were looking for some kind of area artwork, Carmel was, I think, generally the place to kind of go. Fun little area, still kind of upscale like Monterey, but there's plenty of places to go. I think they have some high-end restaurants, but generally there's a lot of places you can go to have a nice lunch or dinner, and you don't have to be you don't have to pay out the butt to go there and eat and all that. But yeah, so kind of a cool area, and certainly a lot of beaches and stuff here, a lot of that scenery. But you have, I think, so I think it's called the 18-mile drive, and it kind of from the tip of Monterey there, and it just kind of goes around. At one point, and I don't remember where, but there is kind of like a gated. It's not like a gate, but you have they have to control the traffic through there, so they stop you for a moment, and then once they feel like there's enough cars kind of spaced out, then they'll let you continue on. I don't think you have to pay or anything. Like, it's not a toll booth, but it's just more to keep the traffic down to a minimum, because lots of people would come here and do the 18-mile drive and all that. And once this area kind of got famous again, then I think the people who live there were kind of like, we got to control the traffic somehow. They want people to come and see and enjoy the scenery, but they just don't want the headaches of all the traffic and all that. So yeah, if you get down to Monterey, go to Carmel. Really lovely place to go visit for sure. So anyway, all right, so we will head back over the hills here. There's Monterey Regional, and we're just going to follow the coastline up, and we're going to head towards Santa Cruz, the other fun place to visit, made very famous by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. It was used when, or it was part of the filming of the movie The Lost Boys was filmed down in Santa Cruz, although they called it a different name, but the beach and boardwalk was part of that movie. So yeah, there's lots of stuff that's been done here, that it's a very interesting place to see and visit. You can start up in Santa Cruz and work your way down to Monterey, and just take that scenic drive in and just kind of enjoy the views of the ocean and everything from the highways and all that. And like I said, I think most of the time they had some kind of an area where you could pull out from the road or from the highway for a scenic view. You can stop and take pictures and all that. So we'll just kind of make our way up the coast here. So yeah, so far so good. Kind of quiet in the chat, but that's quite all right. I'm probably talking more than people are used to. But yeah, whenever we do the scenic tour, if there's an area like this I know fairly well, like I've been here a lot, so yeah. But the Monterey Regional, that is a lot for the historic weekends, especially in Pebble Beach. A lot of wealthy people fly in and out of here for the car shows and the auctions that take place. Yeah, lots of money. Let's just put it that way. There's a lot of money coming in when they come into town. So there we are. Nice little fun place. Very cool. Miss it. One of the things I genuinely miss California's Monterey. I wish I could afford to live there. It's just way too expensive. Oh, thank you, Mela. So we're going to make our way up the coast here. Now, it used to be, and I'll see if we can kind of find it, the kind of the out. Let's see. So when Fort Ord was open, long time ago, the club, which I think was the NCO club, was right on the ocean, basically. But it was like, it was its own little area. Like it was like over like on an outcrop or something, I guess. I'm trying to think of the term, but it's no longer there. You know, I think if you look for, just put Fort Ord NCO club and look for the pictures, you'll see where it was. But all the main posts, I think, is pretty much gone. What buildings I think they could keep was converted to student housing for UC. No, was that? I think, yeah. Like they opened up like UC Monterey or something, but that was all those barracks or whatever was there that was still good. They use it for student housing. I don't know how much of it's in use now, even pre-COVID. Like, I don't know how many students actually enrolled in UC Monterey or whatever. So, yeah, all the other stuff that pretty much, and then the other part too is where where Laguna Seca is. A lot of that was it was the back part of Fort Ord, but the back part was generally used for rifle ranges and all that, for weapons qualification. So unfortunately, the side effect of weapons qualification is when you're shooting, you have all that lead and it just goes into the ground and just gets saturated with that lead. Now, I don't know if they've gone through and cleaned it all out now. They probably have. But I think the Department of Defense probably had to foot the bill for that cleanup and all that. But yeah, I'm trying to remember. It's kind of hard to see where things were because the area's changed so much from the days of Fort Ord. It's kind of hard to figure out where things were exactly and all that. But I remember the NCO club was right there on the water. Like there was like this. It kind of sat on this, area that kind of stretched out over the ocean and all that. But yeah, if you go and look for it online, I'm sure you can find the pictures. So going up the coast here, there is a lot of farming along the coast here. Going up, you will run over Castroville, which is a farming community kind of. So yeah, it's a very weird area. Like, you have all these, essentially farms and farm workers and stuff like that, and then you have these very affluent, wealthy people at the same time. But yeah, it's a very unique place, I think. I always like driving. This is the way I would also come in, is this stretch of highway through here. I think this is probably where Old Fort Ord was. Not old, but some of that stuff was probably around here. But it's hard to remember where exactly everything was, because this area has certainly changed quite a bit since Fort Ord closed down. Either stuff was demolished and then, new areas were kind of built up in its place. Yeah. We'll just kind of follow the coastline up here. No particular hurry, I don't think, unless people have other things to do today other than return gifts that they didn't want. Oh man, I'd feel bad for the people working in customer service today. This must be a madhouse. Yeah, would not want that job. Yeah, a lot of farming through here. Kind of a quiet sort of area. Once you get out of Monterey, generally this area is pretty quiet. For the most part, I think. Kind of a relaxed area. At least that was what I always sensed it to be. I mean, I guess you'd have to be pretty chill to live on the coast there and enjoy you're right near the beach, so I don't know how many people actually learn how to surf, but that's certainly something you can do. Scuba diving, very popular. Snorkeling. I think Monterey Bay does have quite a extensive kelp bed in it. I think that's one of the things that draws the snorkelers and scuba divers to go and look at the kelp bed in person. If I remember correctly, I think it's kelp. So I'm gonna snack on something real quick and I'll be right back. Alright, there we go. Gotta keep my energy up so I can be a good tour guide here. So yeah, there's a split off basically. There's Castroville. You drive kind of through there you can drive through there on your way to Monterey. And you go back that way and then you hit Highway 101 and then because you can split off there before you go towards Salinas, basically. So that's what I would usually do. Or if I just thought, well, I'll go to Salinas and then cut in that way. But I generally drive down like the day before and get into my hotel room and get settled, have a bite to eat. That way I was all ready to go the next day at Laguna Seca. And I think I told you guys, oh, hello again, Joseph. How are you? met somebody, a guy that I met. We just started talking. First time we went to, I went to Monterey for the historic race, and we just started, just kind of developed a friendship, and we would talk throughout the year, like, hey, are you going to be there for this race? Yep, I'll be there. Okay. And for whatever reason, just by dumb luck, we would be amongst the first 10 cars waiting to get into the gates when they would open up. And so, like, he would bring the coffee, I would bring the donuts one time, and vice versa. And we'd sit there and shoot the shit until the gates would open. We'd drive in, park, and we'd just walk around, hang out all day. I don't know whatever happened to him. We kind of lost touch. But, yeah, it was always fun. We would just meet up, and, when we were like the first 10 cars in, we were never below 10, I don't think. We were always within that. The gates would open, we were right in there. And, yeah, even if I stayed, it was, we always would meet up there. And, except if he camped, there was a couple times I think he went camping, so I just would meet him in the paddock once I got parked, and then we would have coffee and donuts. So, yeah, good times. I really miss it. I don't know what is the main thing that has grown here along the seaside.
Old Crow, 237 York, leaving my airspace. Resume on navigation. Contact NorCal approach on 127.15. Good day.
Let's see what happens with our
127.15
squawk code.
Old Crow 237.
We'll watch it change.
Old Crow 237, 2,300 feet. Old Crow 237, NorCal approach altimeter
Nope.
29.9 continue to coast as planned.
Monterey Bay Academy. Now, I don't know what that really means, that academy, but I know there's an airport there, but I don't know what really is the main sort of what is it that they teach? Yeah, look at this. You have these like little houses here right on the coast. Look at that. I mean, that just must be amazing to wake up and see the ocean from your house. Be able to walk out on the beach whenever you want to. I think Mick is secretly lurking. He may have to kind of... Alright, so there's Watsonville Airport. So we're not far from Santa Cruz. So we're just... If Santa Cruz should just be up in front of us there. Kind of. Not like front this way, but just over off the right wingtip there. We're going to just kind of fly up here, and then we'll call into Watsonville Municipal and bring this in nice and easy. We'll wrap the stream up for the day. Yep, spent quite a long time. Not that I lived there, but I used to go down quite a bit to Santa Cruz. I had a high school friend that lived down there for Capitola area, which is right near Santa Cruz. Used to go down there for a while during the summer. And I kind of like the area. It's certainly a very unique... I kind of wish I'd grown up along the coast, but what can you do? You're born where you're born, and your parents live where they live. You don't have much of a choice in the matter. Yeah, nice little flight today. We had a nice trip there on the Sandpatch Grade. Next Sunday, we will be on the Peninsula Corridor, and then we will go to... What did I say? Oh, it was... I wrote it down. Scenic Sunday will be in... Oh, it's in New Zealand. That's right. we're doing flying tours of the glaciers there in New Zealand. There's a little airport. We'll take off and we'll circle around and see some stunning scenery there. We'll call it in. We'll call in for a landing, and we'll still be in the Stearman here. It's a nice, I think, a very sort of chilled dirt strip or something. That's what it looks like. I think. Oh. Yeah, we'll have a nice, relaxing flight on the 2nd of January. On the 1st, we'll return in the Spitfire. Quick reminder again, no flights on the 29th. 31st, we will start a little bit later, which will be 9 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. Long flight from Heathrow to JFK in the Dreamliner. We're taking the Dreamliner. Go up to 40,000 feet and have a nice flight there into JFK. So do show up for that if you have the time. If you have the time, we have the beer. Miller beer. Old-fashioned sort of advertisement from back in the day. I think we should be coming up around Santa Cruz here shortly. Just kind of keep over the water here, and then we'll come inland, and then we'll look for Santa Cruz. I think it's up ahead here somewhere, if I remember the layout of the area. So we'll find the beach and boardwalk. We'll try to have a look at that. Hopefully that is rendered in fairly well. Let's see, what is the name of the roller coaster there? I'll tell you, hold on. I can't remember it off the top of my head. It is the... Oh, it was opened in 1907. It is California's oldest surviving amusement park. One of the few seaside parks on the West Coast. And let's see, where is the name of... The Giant Dipper. So it was a wooden roller coaster. Yeah, that's the one. The Giant Dipper is the wooden roller coaster there at Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Okay, there's Capitola. Right there. Sea Cliff. So, Santa Cruz should be not far from here. There's Capitola, Opal Cliffs, Twin Lakes, Pleasure Point. Yeah, it should be like right here, if I remember correctly. I don't think it's that far up the coast. In fact, I kind of feel like it's right over here. Alright, let's make our way, kind of turn to the right here and go inland a bit, see if we can get it to pop up. It should be like right there. Now there is a railroad in, I think it's more of like a scenic railroad that you could take a tour from Santa Cruz down the coast and back. It should be like right here. Huh. Maybe that's the name of it up there. We should be able to kind of see the almost positive it should be like right there. Now there is a pier in Santa Cruz. You can go fishing off the pier as long as you have a license, and you can get one there. There's a couple of bait and tackle shops that will sell you a license so you can fish off the pier. Not sure what you would catch, to be honest. But yeah, there is, you can go fishing there. Santa Cruz should be like right here. Almost positive of it. I could be wrong though. It's been a while since I've been down here, and it's certainly hard. Kind of, you don't always remember things from you know, it looks different from the air, of course. Okay, there is Santa Cruz. So okay. So there is, so this part here, there is some like little restaurants and all that. There is a, I think there's a Margaritaville down here somewhere, restaurant. So if there's Santa Cruz, the beach and boardwalk should be like right around here somewhere. And you can, you know, you can drive along here along the coast and everything. It's a nice scenic drive still. Like if you start up here and work your way down, it's really lovely place to. If that's Santa Cruz there, then that should be like the beach and boardwalk should be like right down there. So I think, yeah, we went past it. So let's turn back over here so I can make sure I turn correctly. So yeah, the beach and boardwalk should be here. Now that should be, you would think, if it's one of the old or the oldest amusement park in California, that would be a point of interest. They should have that in there. But what do I know? I'm just a guy flying around in a biplane. Man, I didn't think we flew past it yet, or I didn't think it was much farther up the coast. Yeah, this Santa Cruz also. Fun place to go. Lose altitude. Well, I guess if we lose a little bit, we're okay. Should make it a little bit easier to find everything. Yeah, so there's the pier that you can fish off there in Santa Cruz. So yeah, there is the beach and boardwalk right there. Busy beach during the summer for sure. There's the parking. They've got arcades and just all kinds of stuff to do there. Yeah, there it is right there. So we might be able to see, although it might not render in very well. We should kind of see the roller coaster there. Yep, I see it now. There, you can kind of see the hill right off the left wing tip right there. I know what we're going to do. Just because we can. We're going to try to get a little bit lower. And see if we can't see it a little bit better. Yeah, there's the hill of the Giant Dipper. Yeah, there we go. Now it's a little bit more easier to see. We're now lost some altitude. Yep, there it is, right there. Ta-da! We did it. There we go. Now we can see it. So yeah, very world famous wooden roller coaster. Very cool. fun thing to do. Yeah, then you follow this down, and then you go, once you pass over here, and all that, before you get to Capitola, there's this little boating area and all that. And then you come out here. I'm trying to think. Let me look at as we pass over this. I should be able to see it. But then there's like a area where there's some really good restaurants. Like I said, there's a Margaritaville. I may have passed it already. I'm trying to remember the layout of the street. That might be it right down there. Yep, I think that's where you got some like little shops again, kind of little artsy sort of stuff, and then you have some really good restaurants in the area of seafood, burgers, you know, just all kinds of stuff. So there we are. Let's see. Let's go to. Should be able to find Watsonville. There it is. Let's go runway 2. What the heck?
Kilo Whiskey Victor India traffic hold. Crow 2379 miles west 1,200 feet inbound to land runway 2.
Okay, well there's our pattern entry. That was easy. So we'll wrap this up. We'll get on the ground here shortly and call it a day. Do appreciate you coming in and hanging out today. Nice to see everybody. Hopefully you had a wonderful Christmas, wonderful holidays. Hopefully, Milla, you got a big bunch of beef patties to eat for Christmas. Hopefully a refrigerator full of beef patties. There we go. So we will day here short. Nice to see you all here. Now, quick reminder, we don't have any flaps on this plane, so we have to kind of utilize our throttle and just kind of keep the nose up. Hopefully have a nice bit of runway to use to be able to kind of, we'll find out here shortly. If I picked it correctly and got a nice nice long runway. So hopefully everybody's enjoyed this today. If you did, please do leave a thumbs up on your way out. Greatly appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow in the Bonanza G36. Should be a nice little flight. Get that done. Get out the door. Oh, yes. Hopefully everybody had fun, family, and everything. Whether you celebrate Christmas or not, as long as you were with family, that's what counts. Yeah, nice, relaxing Sunday. Can't beat it. We had a nice ride there on the Sand Patch Parade, and now we have a nice flight here over the Pacific and the Monterey Bay and everything. So, yeah, good stuff. I think I picked the right runway for landing. That should be a decent sized runway. I would think in real life this would probably be the way to see the area from the air. A little cool biplane like this. As long as the winds weren't strong and you know, fairly smooth flight, it would be a lot of fun to do in real life. I Not that I think many people have a biplane. I'm sure somebody does. Lots of fun today. Glad to do it. Oh, now I get like 5 people showing up there in Twitch. Yep, we're getting ready to land, so I don't know if you're here for the landing or what, but we're about to wrap this up, so missed most of it, unfortunately. Cut in right here. Oh yeah, it looks like a pretty good sized runway there at Watsonville, so good choice, good choice. Plenty of runway to set this thing down, I believe. That was just a good guess on my part. My 5 viewers over on Twitch coming in. We're right at the end. Nice to see you here. Not sure who you are. Okay, here we go. There we are. Look at that. Not too shabby. Well, on behalf of myself and First Officer Mick, we'd like to welcome you to Watsonville. Local time is 6 minutes to 7 in the morning. It's certainly not quite as bright here as it is right now. Sun's still probably coming up there. Anyway, we know that you have many options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Simulator viewing pleasures, and we are glad that you chose to spend time with us today. We'll be back tomorrow in the Bonanza G36, also on the West Coast, so do tune in for that if you can. We appreciate you flying with us. Probably could have hovered over the runway just a bit longer. I think I was still carrying just a bit too much speed, but we got it. Now, the question is, will there be somebody waiting for us so that we know where to park? I think I see somebody out there. Oops. Let's say we're clear of the runway, at least. Okay, yeah, we don't have... It's not towered, or it's not open on the weekends, I don't think. Yeah. So, let's see here. I think I see what we're going to do here. Hopefully we don't hit anything else, but there's not a lot of room, that's for sure. There's a room on the other side of that. Oh, thank you, Mella. Appreciate that. Come on, plane. There we are. And let's hit the battery, and that should conclude the flight. There we go. Alrighty. Hour 7, not too bad. Anyway, that is going to be it for today, folks. Greatly appreciate you coming in, hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun, kind of showing some places that I remember being at and such. I will see you all tomorrow. Do enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Don't forget to return those gifts. If you didn't want it, if it's not working, get over there and get it done today. Don't wait too long. Otherwise you'll forget. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care. Appreciate that, Amela. I will see you all then. Peace. Live long and prosper.